Hello everyone, we're a little bit late. So today, I had my lovely light up keyboard. Bye coaster.
That landed on my leg.
You got another one. Ow.
You got another one.
I don't.
You can play that. What are you doing?
Closing the curtains because the glare's coming in.
He says to do it live and then he gets up and don't pay attention to it.
So nice to join Jack. Alright, hello everyone. Start again. I've got my will.
Facebook or YouTube are we on?
This is YouTube. It says YouTube, so
Yeah, well I got mixed up, didn't I? It's one of these days for me today.
So obviously we're going to Shrewsbury in the next couple of weeks. I want to hear from people who might know what happens there. I did find something originally about the cells, but I can't find that anymore. It's like vanished completely.
You're trying to have a look for it, weren't you?
Yeah, I can't find it anywhere. It was something to do with cell C25 or something like that, but it's completely vanished from the internet, which is kind of annoying. Obviously, we're going up there on the 30th. We're traveling by train because obviously me and Laurie don't drive, so we're traveling up there by public transport. When we get there, we might do some exploring, I don't know, but the prison event's the next day, so we can be refreshed and whatnot. We're staying in a hotel, obviously. But I don't know what to expect. I've heard there's been numerous suicides at this prison. Like any prison, really. Suicides are a common thing. There's also been various hangings over the years.
I can't stop yawning, sorry.
Are we keeping you up? Do you want to go to bed?
It's been a long day.
Not really.
For me it has.
Various hangings. I don't know if there's anyone famous in that prison. I can't really find much. And yeah, we just really want to see what we can gather. I mean, I'm a little bit nervous because the group we're going with, before I booked it, they said we could film and bring our own equipment. Now that we've booked for it and paid for it, it's you have to speak to the host on the night. And it's like, what? You told me we could film and do all this.
I'm yawning again.
And now you've kind of gone back on it and said we have to check with the host, which is a little bit worrying. Obviously, I've got all the screenshots on my phone. If they suddenly go back on that, I hope they don't, but don't know. So that could be a little issue. The footage will, if we're allowed to do it, bear in mind, will be uploaded a couple of days afterwards. We're not leaving until the Sunday, I think.
I'm just going to double check.
It's either the Sunday or the Monday.
Why is it in July? Right, let's start again. So we are leaving on the 30th and we will be back on the 3rd, which is Monday.
Monday.
Phone Nick.
Monday. Okay. Wouldn't it be easy to just check booking.com?
I could do. You do that now.
Yeah, that'd be easier. You have the app, don't you?
Yes. Where's the bookings in on here?
Where it says bookings on the suitcase. 3rd.
Confirmed. I love the look of all our upcoming hotels on here. To all our events.
It's not our event personally.
This is going to be my favourite one.
Yeah. Dover.
5 days we're there for.
So, the point of this live today is a couple of things. To interact with you lot, whatever you lot may be. To also find out any haunted places that you could recommend. Bear in mind, Barry Pomeroy, Trinity Church, Oakhampton Castle. We've done all those. Jay's Grave, again, done that. It's more like if you've had any experience in these prisons. We've also done Shepton Mallet, which we want to do again at some point. Last time we went with Oracle Paranormal Mediumship. They have since gone completely dark. When I say dark, I mean I can't get no messages from them. They see the message, but they ignore it. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if they've folded. The members of staff I've contacted, they just totally ignore me. And yeah, I'm at a loss to that one. And I think it's one of these where, I don't know, something's happened in their group and maybe they've stopped doing events with the public and they just do it privately. I don't know.
Well, it happens.
Yeah. But the purpose of this live today is to discuss what you might have experienced in these prisons. If some of you have been to Shrewsbury, I've never been. I have been to Shepton Mallet and I've been to Exeter. One of those is not a paranormal investigation, by the way. From my experiences of both those prisons, I've heard things like tap-ins, bangs, screams, doors banging for no reason. In Shepton Mallet, you heard a lot of wailings. And when I say wailings, it's like a woman, almost like a banshee, but it's not. It's like a moaning scream, if you will. That was at B Wing, just near where the stairs are going down to the bathhouses, which are off limits apparently because they've got black mold or something.
And I was checking an email at the same time.
We also heard various noises at Shepton as well. You know, odd EVPs here and everywhere while we were walking around the prison, which hopefully we get with this place, as long as the group does not screw us over.
We won't be very happy if they do, because we've paid a lot of money to do this.
Yeah.
And they said, did they say we can go off and do our own thing?
They said we could do our lone vigil. So if I find out from the blooming host that that's changed now, we can't, I'm going to be pretty pissed.
I will say something, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I will.
And I would. I'd just be like, look, I'm not being funny. We've travelled long ways. It is spent a lot of money out, and you've just fucked us over. Yeah. Hopefully it don't come to that.
No, hopefully not, but we'll see.
And I'll never book again with that.
Yep.
Then fuck us over.
I won't reveal the name of the group we're going with yet, but if there is any trouble, they will be named and shamed. Because I double-checked this before I booked it, but then after it's been booked, they decide it's a maybe rather than a yes.
Doesn't make me feel very confident.
Doesn't make me very confident either, but there we go. So I've been looking at some of its history. I've got a little bit of it here. Wrong one. There it is. I'll get it eventually. The prison was constructed in 1877. Sorry. There's been a prison there since 1791, the current building itself having been constructed in 1877. It was closed in 2013. Executions were carried out all the way up till 1961. That's not actually that long ago when you think about it.
Back in the 60s then?
Yeah, last execution.
50 years ago, something like that?
They've got a hanging room. I'm reading a bit of information as I'm talking to you guys. Apparently, it says as well that there is Napoleonic history as well during the Napoleonic Wars. I don't know if that's true. In other words, they took on prisoners from captured French seamen, riflemen, whatever, during those times. And if you don't know who Napoleon is, watch Hornblower. That will give you a good idea. Between 1786 and 1791, severe pressure on prison system and more human punishment than execution apparently was put in place. Around 50,000 criminals were settled there. Sorry. This is going on about Australia, despite the fact it says Shrewsbury. What the fuck?
I think we're reading the wrong information.
It says Shrewsbury.
Why has it done that?
Something about prisoners being transported to Australia, which I suppose is possible. These prisons, they are notorious. They're old Victorian ones, so they're notorious for executions, suicides, maybe overdoses in more recent years. I couldn't say, because obviously drugs do come into prison, unfortunately.
Even to this day?
It's normally an internal matter involving a corrupt prison officer, normally. Put it this way, they get help smuggling the drugs in. There's a poem here about Shrewsbury. They hang us now in Shrewsbury jail. The whistle blows fort long. All trains all night grind on rail to the men that died at morn. I guess that's the old English word for morning.
Gotta be, innit?
I expect so. Apparently, there's a notorious prisoner here called Donald Nelson. Don't know who that is. I'll look into that. You need to go back to bed.
Been out in the sun most of the day.
I don't know how many wings this prison's got. I've read of an A wing and a C wing so far.
There's got to be a B wing somewhere.
It's got a condemned cell as well, as it would, having a hanging room. When the prison was in operation, according to this, many refused to work in C wing alone at night. Reports doors slamming, footsteps being heard, pushed down the stairs, things like that. This has housed men and women in the past, it says. So there's that. So I'm reading it out to you people as I'm doing it because
I'm reading it out.
It is believed that one of the female prisoners has refused to leave. She has been seen dressed in a grey uniform walking from cell 3 towards the execution room. That's an interesting one. Keep an eye out for that. I've also heard things about the workshop. We've watched videos from Haunted Happenings, who, funny enough, we're going on a few events with later on in the year.
I thought you weren't there.
They are not the people we're going with for the Shrewsbury one, just to confirm. We're only going on one with these people. And if they're good, then great. But I've only booked.
Not, boo.
And if they're not, well, we're booking those people again.
There you
go. This is personal experiences from someone on the net. I will read it to you as best I can. As a large group, we began the night in the hanging room by conducting a group vigil in there. We stood all the way around the room itself throughout this vigil, whilst nothing came through on any equipment. Many reported, including myself, feeling very unsettled. For many of the people in the room, it was as if the floor itself was really uneven, like you were not on solid ground, and it wasn't quite safe. So basically what they're saying is there's activity in the hanging room, which is bound to be expected. People died there, obviously.
I'd have been surprised if there weren't no activity, more than activity.
We're drinking iced tea, not the alcohol kind, though.
Why do you need to tell me?
Just in case they ask. My legs felt really wobbly the entire time I was in there, somewhat experience of possibly standing and waiting for the long drop to open. That'd be interesting to try. And you fall swiftly through. I felt nauseous in there throughout, and this throbbing feeling in my head and white noise. I've only ever felt like that before. I was feeling like I'm going to pass out or have passed out. It was very similar to that. I'm quite glad to be out of that room, to be honest. It just didn't feel right in there at all. Now that many have been down to the fact that it was a large group in there. Maybe too hot, standing still, maybe needing a drink, whilst all of that is very distant possibility. I can't rule out my feelings, which are linked to the room, giving itself prior to entering, and as soon as I left, I felt completely fine. It was only within that room I felt that way. So basically what they're saying is these people, I don't know who they are, I just found the article online because originally I was looking at Paranormal Database because that's where I found it originally, but that's vanished. Pretty much there's feelings of uneasiness in the hanging room, which is to be expected. The floor feels uneven, apparently, so that will be interesting. If we're allowed, touch wood, I might set up a stationary camera in that room while we are around that area, if we're allowed.
There's only an if. I can't promise you that.
Yeah, because I'm kind of nervous. The fact they say it's up to the host.
Yeah. Speak with them, praise that we've not been fucked over.
If we have, God help them.
I won't be happy.
No, me neither.
I'll be pretty pissed, actually. I won't be just pissed, I'll be pretty pissed.
This is another one of someone's personal experiences. In one of the isolation cells on that wing, I assume they mean A, because it says A block. I'm guessing these people are American, because that's what you call the cell blocks in America, is A, B, C block. You don't call it A, B, C wing. In one of the isolation cells on that wing, isolation cells were allocated to watch for risk of suicide. I would have every single piece of equipment I had that night stop working. So that's interesting. They've had equipment stop working, even though they've been checked prior to arrival with new batteries put in them. Even tried putting new batteries in again. I couldn't get my torch to work, spirit box recorder to work in that cell. It wasn't until, in fact, I left the isolation cell that my equipment would start working again, as randomly as they all stopped. I should explain that I've never had any issues with these pieces of equipment before going into that cell or subsequently afterwards. Maybe this was a spirit affecting the devices whilst in that. It is possible. We've had equipment malfunction before now at the Ancient Ram Inn. One of my audio recorders, it recorded, but it recorded absolutely silence, nothing, not even footsteps of us coming in. So, yeah, that is possible. And also our EDI meter also malfunctioned and it was dead, despite the fact it had a brand new set of batteries put in it. Apparently there's a medical area. In one part of the prison, in the medical area, we would pick up things via the spirit box, messages coming through were certainly threatening and not wanting us to be there. So that would be interesting. They said they'd post bits of that on their social media. I don't know who they are, as I say. So we've got a couple of areas already. We've got C Wing is meant to be quite active. We've got A Wing, the hanging room, and also the condemned cell, and now the medical area, which is interesting.
Starting to look interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else. But yeah, it seems to be like there's a lot of activity in Shrewsbury Prison itself. We haven't experienced it yet. We will do.
It's not been there yet, so
No. We will go there very shortly.
When we say shortly, it's about 9 days.
Give or take. 30th, we go up, 30th of June. But if any of you have been to Shrewsbury Prison, by all means, share your experiences, because we want to know what we're in for. We've only read little bits.
Which is nowhere near all of it.
Exactly. We don't know what we're in for. It might be like Shepton Mallet, where it was reasonably peaceful. You have the odd anomaly, like you get a headache or your battery goes completely flat on your camcorder or a camera. That happened a few times. Normal. But that's normal because that's the spirits draining your batteries. It's happened to us more than once. I can remember when we went with, funny enough, Oracle. It was either, I think it was Warmley Clock Tower near Bristol. I had batteries getting drained galore. I literally changed my camcorder battery 4 times because they just.
Maybe you're doing it, but I can't remember where we were.
I think it was Warmley Clock Tower in Bristol. It got drained constantly. So, if any of you out there have experience in Shrewsbury Prison, please let us know, because I'm curious about it, what we might be in for. We've done Shepton Mallet. I want to do Gloucestershire, or Gloucester, whatever it's called, because that one looks interesting. I've seen documentaries on that as well. Whether we'll get anything paranormal is another story. But I'm hoping we do. Oh, what's this new message? Oh, Sky. Yeah.
I thought it's something important.
I did, but I was like, what does it want?
Bloody Sky.
So, anyone got any stories? By all means, comment them in below.
We'd love to hear.
Yeah. And anyone got any paranormal evidence at Shrewsbury Prison itself? Again, we'd love to know. I mean, my beeline will probably be for the hanging room, if I'm honest.
I thought you might do that one.
Yeah, well, it's probably going to be the most active place from what I can tell. And C Wing, apparently, no member of staff when it was operational would go near it at night alone.
That's another test to do then?
Yeah. You can do it.
I would.
I know you would.
I would walk down there.
But
I'd do my little whistling again while I'm in there because they might respond back because they responded last time.
You can do.
Worth a try, isn't it?
Yeah, you can do. Obviously, it's just me and Laurie going up to Shrewsbury. We did offer our normal driver, but he said no. So, oh well. But it'd just be me and Laurie. We're hoping to recruit a couple more people who will come with us on these events, but so far it's just me and Laurie, which it is what it is, you know. I don't mind. I booked these events a long time ago. But I'm more interested in, obviously, this prison has got a lot of history. It's 1700s, apparently.
It's going to be interesting.
And I've heard rumors it's built on top of an old castle. I don't know if that's true. I will have to look into that a bit more deeply when I've got the time. At the moment, I haven't really had much time because I've been getting equipment ready for the events, making sure everything's got a new battery changed over, whatnot, charging up other batteries. But I will leave these comments open. If you have got a story of Shrewsbury Prison, please share. You won't find us ungrateful. At the end of the day, I want as much information as possible, but at the same time, I don't want to know every story, because then when we come back, we say we've heard this and no one's told us, but they've had it as well. Then there's a bit of credibility there, because I like to go in things partly blind.
It's better that way, isn't it?
Not fully blind, but just partly. Obviously, I've read up on some history, and obviously there's been a few suicides, there's been a few executions there, but there could be other stuff there. There could be people on visitations, or there could be people who are grounded there. I don't know. We will find out. But I don't know if anyone else is planning to go to that event. The date's the 1st of July. Don't mention the group's name in here, please. If you are going, just hint, yes, I am going, blah, blah, blah. Because we're also keen to make new friends as well who go on this paranormal stuff. We don't care your age, your sex, or your gender. It doesn't bother us.
And to make something else clear, nor your skin colour.
Nope. Skin colour doesn't bother me. I got all kinds of friends. I got Asian friends. I got Arab friends. I've got white friends. I got African friends. I'm pretty easy. So we're hoping to make a few friends along the way doing all this.
It'd be quite nice for us, soon as we find it hard.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we can find someone who's actually a couple, as me and Laurie are a couple, as you know. Well, in case you didn't, we are. So it'd be nice to meet another couple, because then it could be like a joint couple thing, sort of thing.
I think they would have established we're a couple because I'm sat in my pajamas.
No, not necessarily. It's not obvious. I mean, we don't have wedding rings or anything like that. Not yet, anyway. Got to buy all that yet. Oh, that's another thing.
Got to book a date of marriage first, without the bloody rings and that afterwards.
It's affording it. We're in a bit of a financial troublesome.
I think we're all in that boat, to be fair.
We are.
Thanks to the selfish government. But anyway, we're not here to talk
Yeah,
about
we're not here to talk about women. It's not even Boris Johnson anymore, is it? It's some Indian guy, Rajiv something or other. I can't pronounce
his name.
But Shrewsbury people, we'll give you a little minute. You got any stories? Please comment them below. kind of just giving people benefit of doubt if they are watching and they're going to comment and let us know their stories.
I'm honest, I don't think anyone is, because it doesn't say anything in the corner.
That's not always accurate.
People not leave comments after the video if necessary.
They can, but it's easier if we see them because we're doing a live. Yeah, that's not always accurate, that one.
I'm going to have to go and lay down a minute.
Why's that?
Because I'm in an awful lot of pain. I'm discussing it on live camera.
No.
So why ask why when you know the problems?
I was just curious because I wasn't sure what it was that you were talking about. Okay. So yeah, we're going to Shrewsbury. I just given people a bit of time in case they were watching and they're going to reply to my questions. What should we expect at Shrewsbury? What's going to go wrong? That kind of thing. I want to hear people's stories. Don't give me too much detail. Just give me enough so we have a good idea of what might happen. But don't release the good bits, because I'd like to find out for myself in that regard. Because that way I can say, yes, this has happened, and someone else can say, yes, I experienced this, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you know. I mean, we're literally going in a few days, well, not a few days, but less than 2 weeks, put it that way. I'm playing with my drawers. She's a menace.
He says all this, but he can never be without me.
Yeah, some days I have totally different feelings, Bobby. Some days.
Just to let you know, the feelings very mutual.
Some days I get set on fire. But I wouldn't, because that's illegal. That's another thing. Have there any been like burn-ins there? I don't know if anything to do with witchcraft was around. Might be something worth looking into. What's that noise?
What noise?
What was you doing making that noise? Can you not do that?
I stopped doing it because you heard it. Couldn't help myself. I have to fiddle with things.
She's a fiddler.
And this is more when I break things. And to make it very clear, no, I'm not a fiddler, because that sounds very wrong.
She's a fiddler of different things. She likes to fiddle, like open my drawers or fiddle with things she doesn't understand, such as equipment, whatnot. But Shrewsbury, have anyone here experienced anything from HMP Shrewsbury?
Giving them another minute away.
Let's give them a little bit of time in case they are typing. I don't know.
I don't know, but I am going to have to go in the other room in a minute. This pain is too painful.
Okay, I'm going to end it here. If you've had any experience with Shrewsbury, you can either email me by going on my channel's About page, and it will have the email for business inquiries. You can let me know your stories. Or you can comment them below on this live video, which I think will go to videos eventually. For some reason, the other live didn't, and I don't know why. But you can do it that way. Let me know your stories. As I say, don't give me everything, though. Leave a little bit to the imagination. Just give us the gist of it. For instance, banging. Yeah, that's all right to tell me. But don't say, like, the ghost's name or what clothes they wear. Nothing like that, because
We want to try and work that out
Yeah.
ourselves.
so we could prove, yes, we've experienced this, rather than, oh, yeah, what you told us, yeah, we experienced it too. You know, it just makes it a little bit more credible if you do it that way. So I'd rather experience it for myself and say, this is what we experienced. So, right, we shall leave you all to it, as it's been a bit quiet on the Western Front again. We shall do one more live before we go, which we'll do on the 29th of this month. And then after that, we're obviously away for the weekend, and we're not back till Monday. And then we might do another live then. I've got one already booked in ready, actually. I can't remember what date I put it as. I'll look in a minute. But as I say, tell us your stories about Shrewsbury Prison, what you experienced. And, you know, hopefully me and Laurie capture something. For now, stay safe and good hunting. Spirit Hunters Talkie out.